This farm track is the way to the top of Kiston Hill from Muka in Upper Swaledale. Well, I'm in search of what might be described as typical Dales, characteristics that can be found in abundance in this part of the Yorkshire Dales National Park. So, sheep and trees then, lots of those. And waterfalls. We have lots of waterfalls in this part of the world. You will also find many remnants of what was once a thriving lead mining industry, such as these ruins in Swinnergill, all part of a day's hike in the northern region of the Yorkshire Dales. Well, I should tell you that the views featured in this video were captured from 3 different walks, all within a few days of each other. This was walk number 2, a climb to the top of yet another hill. We have lots of those too. This time the target was Buckden Pike in Upper Wharfdale. This is the summit, featuring a rather splendid cairn and a trig point. I'm always on the lookout for old barns, and I think I've found one right here in Wharfdale near Starbotton on the route to the Dales Way. There's no shortage of barns in this area. It's one of those typical features of the Dales landscape after all. It's not just about the barn though. What interests me is how it visually connects to its immediate surroundings. To sketch a scene like this, I would always start as simply as possible, establishing the basic shapes of all the elements and figuring out how they all link together. Once I've done that, some initial shading enables me to break things down into light and dark areas. At this early stage, I'm not too worried about finesse. My shading is a little rough at the edges and not overly consistent, but this is a first draft, remember. Things can be tidied up as the drawing progresses. My next stage is to start drawing in some of the finer details. For instance, you'll notice I've outlined the walls to establish their presence and picked out some of the stones and posts along the length of the wall. What to put in and what to leave out is a question to which there is no fixed answer. This is a sketch. As such, it's an information gathering exercise, and choosing what to put in and leave out may depend upon several factors. For starters, it's my own personal interpretation based upon first-hand observation. Place half a dozen different artists in front of the same scene and you'll get 6 different interpretations of it. What grabs the attention of one artist might be overlooked by another, or may be dismissed on account of it being deemed not interesting enough. In pencil drawing, as with watercolour, we work from light to dark. So, as my sketch develops, so the values become more intense. My priority is to try and work with and reinforce the tonal contrasts within the scene. At the same time, I'm trying to keep it visually interesting by graduating some of those values and suggesting some of the textures. It's worth noting, by the way, that tone is relative. The lighter and brighter we want something to appear, so the darker the neighbouring tone needs to be. Having said that, intricate or complex highlights can be a problem that requires concentration and patience to overcome. If I've got sunlit branches falling across a dark area, the only way I can deal with that spontaneously is to carefully shade around them. Old barns make great subjects for either painting or drawing. Discovering them while out walking is an integral part of the process. For me, that's where all my work takes root. It all starts with an adventure. My third walk begins and ends in Reeth in Swaledale. It's April and folks are finally getting out and about again, and I have one final climb to make over Reeth Moor to Arkengarthdale. And if this isn't typical Dales landscape, then I don't know what is. Beck runs the length of Arkengarthdale and into the River Swale. With a good, easy to follow footpath for most of the way, it makes for a pleasant, not too challenging walk back to Reeth after my climb over the moors. I never tire of walking in this area, what with sheep for company, miles of dry stone walls, interesting farms and old barns, waterfalls and ancient woodland. There's a potential painting subject around every corner. And even though much of the area is familiar to me, after years of exploring, I still manage to stumble across little corners that I never knew were there. And then there are the old favourites that I come back to time and time again. I don't know if this old derelict house has a name. If it has, the map doesn't show it. What I do know is I love it, and I think it'll make a perfect line and wash painting. Now, I've often heard people describe a landscape as being typical Dales, but then you could say that about anywhere. Different locations have their own unique characteristics. I see it as part of an artist's job to try to emphasise those characteristics. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that brief look into some of the elements that help to make the Yorkshire Dales such a special place. If you have enjoyed it, then please do hit the like button. It'll help me to produce more videos like this one and grow the channel. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, then welcome. It would be great to have you along as a subscriber. Well, there's more to come from my travels, accompanied by sketches and paintings, of course. Finally, if you'd like to see the full, uncut, non-time-lapsed versions of the sketch and painting featured in this video, along with hundreds of other projects and step-by-step guides to help you have a go at them yourself, then these are available to subscribers of my online tuition service, starting at only £9 per month. You'll find full details of how to sign up for that in the description below. I think that's all for now. To be honest, I'm just happy to be out and about. I'm even happier now that I've had a haircut. Until next time, take care.